Can AI really replace developers? I put 6 vibe coding apps to the ultimate test, building a full investment tracker from scratch. The winner absolutely shocked me, to be honest, but the loser, well, you will see, I almost rage quit. Welcome to Made by Agents. My name is Tobias Wupperfeld, and let's get started. Let's start with the first vibe coding app, Replit.com. Here you can see the interface. We can slide this in, and there's not much to explain really. We have one chat input field, and then here can provide the app type. In our case, this would be a modern web app made with React and Node.js, but let's leave it at auto, and it should pick the right app type for us. And then here to the right, we can attach a file, for example, an image file, and then it can use this to build our app. Could be a mockup or something like that. And here it has a prompt improver feature included, but we won't use this. I prepared a prompt already. I want to use the same prompt for all of these 6 vibe coding tools, and I'm gonna paste in the benchmark app prompt. So we're gonna build an investment portfolio tracker as a web application with an interactive mobile responsive dashboard in a modern dark theme. Requirements: first, data and assets. It should fetch up-to-date prices for Bitcoin, Ethereum, top Nasdaq stocks, top global stocks, popular ETFs. And then there should be a dashboard with metrics, an account overview, total value, performance over last 12 months, a line chart that shows the account value over time, a pie chart with the asset allocation, recent transactions summary. Then for the transactions, the user should be able to add a transaction, buy or sell, with the date, number of shares, amount in US dollars, save and cancel buttons. Then there should be a list of all securities with the category plus buy and sell buttons. Cash account, so buying reduces the cash balance, selling increases it, and there should be an add and remove money option for this cash account. And then last but not least, a list of all transactions in chronological order. By the way, I'm using the free version of all of these vibe coding apps. Yeah, I don't have a pro account with all of these, but I hope we can build at least one app. Yeah, let's click start chat. So I didn't provide any technology stack, so I let it completely decide which technologies to choose. And let's pretend I don't know anything about the tech, and I don't know what JavaScript is or what Tailwind CSS is. So I let it completely decide, see what we'll get. So it created a plan, and now it's waiting for our approval. And we see here it gave it a name, Wealth Track Modern Web App, so that's already correct. Initial version, a comprehensive investment portfolio tracker, and so on. So the list of features: real-time price fetching, interactive dashboard. So it also left some tasks out for later. Add portfolio performance analytics and benchmarking. Okay, we didn't even ask for this. Sounds good. Let's click on approve plan. And while it's working, we can see here we already have a visual preview of the app. The UI looks pretty good. Excited to see the end result. Definitely takes a while, so see you later, I would say. And we see here that it's using Tailwind and .ts and .tsx files. So it's using TypeScript, popular stack right now for building web applications and UIs. And when we click on this button here in the upper left, we see the files, main app directory with all the subfolders and files and the stuff the agent is creating.
A few moments later.
All right, so the Replit agent finished. Took 10 minutes and 2 seconds, quite long. Yeah, you see here the result, and here we have the preview now on the right hand side. This looks pretty good. I mean, the UI is really nice. Let's see if it actually has functionality, because that's something where these vibe coded apps usually falling short. How much cash do we have? We have already $10,000. Yeah, let's see if we can withdraw, say 1,000, withdraw funds. And damn, we get an error right away. Yeah, let's remember this. Withdrawing doesn't work. Let's see if deposit works. Deposit doesn't work. Let's buy an asset. Let's select an asset. Okay, let's say we want to buy Bitcoin. Today is the 10th of August. And let's say one Bitcoin for, I don't know, what's the price at the moment? 117. And total amount, it should calculate this actually. I can't edit this. So calculation doesn't work. Total amount is required, but I can't enter it. I can't enter an amount. And we have two, you see here in the top right, we have two close buttons. So you can make a to-do list like of all these issues and then prompt it to fix all of this in the next run. And everything else is just dummy data, right? And records, everything else is not working because of this. So we can tell it now, I can't add or withdraw money from the cash account. I can't add a transaction. The total amount is not calculated, and can't submit the form. The form also has two close/X buttons. And another thing, it's not fetching the actual up-to-date price. So the current price of these assets, the current prices of all assets are not fetched from wherever. So you have to manually input the current price. Yeah, you see Bitcoin at 43,000. This is not the current price. Now you go back and forth and so on, right? Until these problems are fixed. Okay, so it finished the second round after 4 minutes. Let's see if these issues are now fixed. Let's see if we can deposit cash. Yes. So this is working now. And withdrawal. This is working as well. And let's see if we can add a new transaction. Let's try to buy Bitcoin again. Okay, it's displaying a price per unit now, but the price is wrong. But anyways, this is also not working. And yeah, saving the transaction is still not working. So the main feature is still not working. But the list of transactions is also here. And we can also filter. We would need to prompt again and again and again a few more times until everything is fixed on the outside. The nice thing about Replit is that you have access to the entire code base here, and you can make edits yourself if you want. And you can also download the entire project here as a zip file and then hand it over to a developer like me, for example, to finish this up. We can see here it's using Wheat. It's a React web framework, and there's nothing wrong with that. And it's using a Tailwind for this CSS styling and a client and server directory. I don't want to go too much into the code right now, but I'm gonna review this and give it a score later on. What's quite cool is that here you have this visual editor, and you can, for example, tell it, hey, there's a problem, for example, with this canvas, and you can mark this, and you can change the layout in real time. So if you want to push this further down, you can do so here, and then click on Save Changes, and then it's applying this fix. And you can also roll back edits it made. And another thing is the mobile responsiveness we asked for. So we can test this out here, make this smaller. We see everything looks all right. And here the menu is now at the bottom. Oh, okay. So we see here there are some glitches, some UI elements that are overflowing. So that's also something you need to check and then fix again. So the mobile responsiveness is not 100%. Then here this withdraw button is slightly overflowing. And here the records, on smaller screens, the transactions are also not 100% optimized. Another thing is you can just deploy this in one click on Replit, which is nice when your app is running and when you're sure that it's secure enough, then you can deploy it right away. Okay, I would say let's continue with the next vibe coding app and give it the same prompt. And this time we're using Firebase Studio by Google. Let's paste in the same prompt here. We can see we can also attach files if we like, and that's pretty much it right now. We can't set the model. I think it's using the Gemini models using Google tag, obviously. And yeah, let's click on prototype with AI. Also generated a plan or blueprint for us with the desired features here. It seems like it added something on top. AI powered insights using Gemini, generate tailored insights, and so on. Didn't ask for that. Then it created a color scheme, layout, typography, chose that for us. For the AI, Gemini and GenKit. And then for the UI, TypeScript, Next.js, Tailwind, CSS. A very similar tech stack, but it's using Next.js in this case. It's an alternative to Vite. It's also a React web framework, but more like for SEO optimized apps, server-side rendering, and so on. Okay, let's click on prototype this app. While it's doing its job, you can click on these files it created and already take a look. So what I already like is that it's not adding tons of comments, because that's also very typical for these AI models. Just generating the actual code. You can't really do anything else within this app while it's doing its job. Okay, it's done. So this was definitely quicker. I think it ran only for maybe 5 minutes. And now it's asking us for a Gemini API key, for these extra AI features we didn't ask it for. But let's see how this looks like. So the design or the UI kind of similar. So we have a cash balance here as well. So it also added some dummy data already. Let's see if we can add money, amount, less options here. And yeah, boom, this is already working, and it's also updated this chart here in real time, and also the asset allocation. Here are only the dots, so the legend is not finished yet. Let's withdraw maybe 10K, and you see 20, and here this dropped, and this also changed, and here this also changed. Recent transactions also updated. You see the deposit and withdrawal. And when we go to the history, we also see it here in our history. It's already working much better than what Replit produced. And let's click here on securities. And here we have also a list of securities. Yeah, we see the prices are also not correct, so they're not actually not fetched, probably hard coded. But we have these categories here up there, and we can filter by the category. Let's try again to add a Bitcoin. Click on buy, let's say 1. Okay, wow, it's telling us we don't have enough cash. So it doesn't actually let us add this transaction. No, much more intelligent. Let's add 0.25 for 17K. Confirm buy. Okay, we get a message toast here, transaction successful. And let's see, when we go to our history, we don't see it here. Let me refresh this app. Oh, okay. It's actually on refresh it, reset the history. Let's see if we can sell NVIDIA. And just one. This was successful, but we don't see it in our history. So yeah, a few things are also missing here. Okay, but the overall functionality was better with just one prompt. When we go back, we can describe the changes here we want to make. For example, I can say buying or selling securities does not update the history and dashboard charts, and then click enter. So it seems like Gemini completed here this fix, and let's reload this app and let's see if we can do a transaction right now. Try to sell one share again, and now it's it's popping up here in our history, and I don't know if actually if it updated our account, but we got it here in cash also, so 130 more in cash. Yeah, it's quite good. Let's also see how this looks like on smaller screens, and we already see here the main dashboard. The charts are not optimized, they are overflowing. The main menu is also gone, so we can't even navigate. So this is definitely worse than Replit. So I think the UI Replit generated is better. That's it for Firebase Studio. In the top navigation bar, you can switch to code if you want. Yeah, you have access to a fully fledged coding environment and can make edits or continue. So you also have access to the Gemini chatbot or agent within this IDE. And you also have a preview here, so everything in one overview. That's really cool, something I like. You can also download this code. It's like VS Code. You can also use extensions here, and you can also publish it. And then I think it is published on Google Cloud, and it's creating a Firebase project for you. Let's continue with the next vibe coding app, Lovable.dev. Let's paste in our prompt again. So here we can also attach files, and we can also import designs right from Figma. And here we can specify if this app should be public or private. You can only make this private when you are a pro member. And here Superbase, I think this is used for the database hosting and authentication and so on. And here I can enable GPT-5 right now. So let's do this, and let's click send. So one difference we already notice here is that it's not creating like a spec or a plan or something like that. At least it's not asking us to confirm. It's returning a short summary here and then continuing editing the files. Let's see if we can also open them. Yes, so we also have a preview here. I would say a simplified directory here of files. You can see it's also using TypeScript and Wheat, so similar to Replit.
Later.
So the Lovable agent finished now, and it's telling us here refine and customize, tweak the design, and so on via prompts or visual edits. And you can use the chat mode to plan out your project without making edits. And it has a GitHub sync, so transfer your project's code to GitHub easily. And for all the data persistence, it's using Superbase. So in order to save data, you would need to connect a Superbase account. All right, let's check out the app. So the UI looks slightly different. Arrangement of the UI elements. We don't actually have a sidebar or a menu or something like that. So we have only the dashboard here. And then here we can add or remove the money. So let's see, let's add 1000. Okay, this is updating now. And here we have the list of transactions, cash in, and let's remove it again, cash out. Then the prices here also not correct, 65,000 for Bitcoin. We click on buy. Okay, we can also set the date here, and the security, 1 share, and then it's not updating the amount. Let's type in something. Okay. And now we see we bought Bitcoin here for 117K, and our account is now negative. So it allowed us to make this negative. And let's say we sell it again, or let's say we sell more than we actually have. Let's try to sell 2 for 200K. And this was also possible. Okay, so it doesn't have this logic implemented yet. But anyways, yeah, it's much simpler. Let's see if this is mobile responsive. Yeah, this is looking good. This is right at the edge, but all right. I think the mobile view is fine. You need to upgrade to a paid plan to actually use the code editor and to make edits. So it's read only right now. Can't make any edits. We can only continue prompting a little bit. We click here on this edit, and then we can also select something, and then we can ask for the changes. So that's quite cool because it has a better context and it knows what you want to change. I could say increase the font size and make it uppercase. We see it made it uppercase and increased the size. We can also undo changes. Now when we scroll up in the chat history, we can click on restore, and then it's restoring it to the previous version. So that's also quite cool. So let's continue with the next vibe coding app, Bolt.new, and paste in our prompt. So what can we do here? We can also import files from Figma or GitHub. Then we can upload files, and it has a prompt enhancer that we won't use, and also a prompt library, which doesn't work right now because I already entered the prompt, but it has some predefined prompts for debugging and so on. Let's click on send. Now also summarizing what it's about to do, and then starting with the implementation right away without asking us again. It's also using TypeScript. Here we can switch to the code mode, and then we see the files. So it's also using wheat, and yeah, we can see here in real time what's going on, and the generation of the code. Later on, the preview.
One eternity later.
Okay, it's now telling me that it finished, but I don't see the preview yet. It's also still spinning here on one of the first steps, so that's a bit weird. Let me try to reload the page. Okay, the command failed, npm install. So it seems like all the code is gone. I mean, all the components it created before. But let's see, I don't know what's going on here. So a bunch of errors, nothing is working, and now we also hit our limit for today. Yeah, so sorry, I think that's a complete fail. Bolt.new, what's going on? And yeah, ciao. Hasta la vista. Let's continue with the next one, v0.dev by Vercel. And we can also use GPT-5 right now here. Same cost as the medium model, by the way. And it can also generate images, which is pretty cool. So let's let this enable. I don't think we need images for this use case, but anyways, it also has prompt enhancer, and we can attach files from our computer or import files from Figma, but we need a premium for that. And let's paste in our prompt again. We see it remove the formatting. Yeah, but that's not our problem. Let's click on send. And we see here in the top navigation bar, it is private. So that's a difference. So even with the free version, you can leave this on private. And there's nothing else we can do right now while it's thinking. Yeah, let's just wait again. Okay, now it's starting generating the app. So no plan or preview whatsoever. It's jumping in and coding. Okay, so we got a result here. We use the new ShadCN sidebar primitives. Suggests to add an integration with a backend as a service or deploy it to Vercel for data persistence. What we see here now is a runtime error in the preview. The file cannot be found. Let's just click on fix with V0 without even looking at the code. But we can open it up here, the preview as well. We see a bunch of components here. It's using TypeScript, and I'm pretty sure that it's using Next.js because Next.js is developed by Vercel, by the same company. So I'm pretty sure that they use the same tag here for their coding app. And here we can actually switch between these different versions it generated. So now it's working on version 2. And we can also go back and forth. So we have a version history. We can hide the console if we want. We can also go full screen, and we can download the entire code as a zip file. And we are back, and we still have a runtime error this time. Okay, so some import problem. I try to jump in and see if I can fix it. Okay, yeah, version 3 is now online. So the UI design looks also pretty nice. I think, yeah, they use ChatCN library. That's cool. And the Bitcoin price, I mean, it could be right. I think that's correct. That's fetching the correct prices. Yeah, let's see. When we click here on manage cache, let's add weird numbers. Click on save, and it's updating our balance, total value, account value. I think it's not updated. Asset allocation with the legend cache, yeah, that's right. And here we also see it's in the transactions that we added it. Let's click on this button. Let's click on remove money. Let's remove, I don't know, 100. And we see here cash out as well. So on Bitcoin, let's see if we can buy more than we have cash. 1 share. Okay, but now we still have to enter kind of the Bitcoin price here. Warning, this buy exceeds current cash balance. Okay, so I think we can still do it, but it's warning us. Let's 0.1, but for 11,900. Perfect. And now we see the asset allocation makes sense. Really cool. Here in the top, we can also add the transaction. I mean, the same. It's buy Apple shares and click on save. Let's buy a few more. Maybe 100. I don't see it here. If we refresh, Nasdaq, Apple, 100 shares for $100 each. Okay, this doesn't work. When you click here on the on securities, okay, this is not working yet. And okay, so all these different tabs here and the sidebar, yeah, don't have a functionality right now. So this is everything that we got. Yeah, but not too bad. Let's see how it performs on mobile. And we see on mobile, the header is overflowing. And this is also overflowing. So not that pretty. The modal here is all right. And then the sidebar is all right, but I don't know why this is now in white background. The rest is in a dark theme. Yeah, okay. And same procedure, we would need to continue adding some prompts to let it improve it. When we are happy with this, we can host this directly on Vercel if we want, or we can download this as a zip file. And yeah, and then do whatever we want with this code. Last but not least, I want to show you Caffeine.ai. This is a newcomer and it's not publicly available yet. It's coming soon, but I got an invite code for the alpha version of this vibe coding app. And I thought about, yeah, why not sharing my experience with this app here as well. One of the main differences of this project is that this actually runs on a blockchain. So they use a completely different stack for the backend. I mean, the entire app is deployed on the Internet Computer blockchain, and this makes a huge difference. And I will show you why in a few minutes. It's very simple. This entire layout, you can actually here in the navigation bar switch the theme. If you want a light theme, you can change it here, or yeah, Tokyo, I don't know, some kind of Tokyo theme. I mean, they have an app market with at the moment 8 pre-built apps that you can clone if you want and test out. A feedback button, and then you can also sign out here again. And yeah, we click here on this plus button, and then it's starting a new chat. And now we enter our prompt here. And yeah, that's it. We don't have any other option. I mean, this here is just my extension Grammarly. And yeah, we can only enter a text prompt at the moment and then send it. It's creating a spec file right now. So kind of a project requirement document. And then it's also starting right away coding this up. And it's starting now with the backend. So because this is running on the blockchain, they use a different programming language for the backend. It's called Motoko, and it looks very similar from the syntax to JavaScript, but I'm not an expert in Motoko, so I also don't know what's exactly going on here. It's creating the data layer. The technology works completely differently. So we don't have a classic database, for example. The cool thing about this is that the data is already persistent. So we don't need to integrate any other tool or database to make this a fully functional app. So this is kind of an all-in-one platform, and it's it's ready to go. Yeah. And here you also have a timestamp for each chat message, so we can see like how long this now takes. For the front end, it's actually also using TypeScript. So it's the same front end stack, very similar. Only for the backend, it's using the Motoko language. So we got a result here as well, and it actually took only 5 minutes. So it's on the quicker side. And here we can now switch between these different tabs. So we have the spec tab where we see the document it created with all these requirements. And then we also have access to the code. Right now, we can't make edits. So it's a read-only editor. You can only make changes via chat right now. Yeah, anyways, and then we have a draft tab where we see the current like the preview, and then a live tab where we will see the app as soon as it's really going live, and then it will be publicly available. When we stay here on a draft and we click here, we can also open this in a new tab. I would say the UI design is maybe a bit weaker compared to these other vibe coding tools. But we see we have no cache in our tracker right now. Then we have a security tab where we see the securities, and it also fetched the real prices, which is pretty nice. It's also adding internet computer, this crypto coin. And yeah, let's try to buy a Bitcoin again. Say only one. Let's click on buy. It's also showing us the correct amount here. So when we type 2, it's yeah, multiplying it. When we click on buy, yeah, let's see. We go back to the dashboard. We see, yeah, we have a negative cash balance right now. And here in the transactions, we also see that we bought 1 Bitcoin. Let's go to the cash tab and let's deposit some cash. Let's say let's deposit 300K. And yeah, it's updating our balance. When we go back to our dashboard, we see we have the cash here now and the total value. And here we also see the transactions again, and that's pretty much it. Let's also buy some Ethereum. Let's buy 10 Ethereum, click on buy, and let's also try to withdraw some money here. And now on our dashboard, we see these transactions here. We also see them here. The asset allocation. Okay, it's only showing cryptocurrency. Let's buy a bit more. Let's buy some Apple. So I actually checked the prices really quick. When we, for example, take Apple as an example, $175. When I go to Yahoo Finance, I actually see the price is higher right now. Not using the correct prices for at least for these stocks. Search for Bitcoin. Yeah, it's open this Bitcoin future. Okay, so we're at 120,000 right now, and it's coming close. On our dashboard now, I just refresh the page. We see the asset allocation. Okay, that's cool. So Nasdaq and what we own in cryptocurrency. We don't see the value over time. Compared to these other vibe coding apps, this worked really well already. Most of the features are there. Tell it that this chart is not displaying any data yet. This chart is not displaying any data yet. I added a bunch of transactions. Works the same way, so it's now updating our app. And as far as I know, one of the benefits of this technology is that it's saving the data. So the risk of losing data is very minimal, especially when you have this app live and then you want to update something. It's a huge problem with these Web 2 vibe coding apps, because they can wipe out your entire database, and that's it. And then it's really use this for a production use case. But in this case, it's persisting the data, and you can even make updates after your app went live, and you can add new features and so on. It's asking me actually a question right now. Yes, do it. In the meantime, we can test the mobile responsiveness of it. Yeah, it's also not perfect. I think all of these tools, they have difficulties with this. This is all right. This is also pretty good. Transactions. So here, these numbers are overflowing. So some minor tweaks that we would need to make. Okay, so version 2 is now ready for review. And this took only 2 minutes maybe. And yeah, pretty quick. We see the portfolio value over time, a chart. It's not pretty yet, not perfect. There are no indicators, axes are missing. But like with all these other apps, you have to send more prompts, and it's a process. And what else can we do now? We can switch this live if we want. So when we click in the chat on actions, we can push this draft live for real usage. So let's click on this, and now we can give this a domain name. Yeah, let's call this investment tracker, and let's click on go live. And now it's deploying it on the blockchain. In just a moment, we will be able to access this app from anywhere in the world. I will just put this link in the description so you can play around with it if you like. Yeah, that's it. So this version is now live in production. That's all. So we went through all these 6 vibe coding apps. First of all, let's look at Replit. Ease of use of this platform, I would give it 8 of 10, relatively high score. Thing is pretty easy to work with. You have the option to deploy it and so on. And yeah, pretty straightforward, very simple interface. Then for the speed of generation, I give it a 4. It was one of the slowest apps, to be honest. Took forever, 10 minutes before we got the first preview. Then the app quality, I give it a 6. The UI is pretty nice. The styling is one of the best, but almost nothing really worked. So none of the functionality really worked, not even depositing, withdrawing cash here. That's why I give it a 6. The supported features, I give it a 7 because you can do a lot of different things here. You can attach files, optimize your prompts, you can deploy it right on Replit, you can connect a database, and have a bunch of other tools here. Next, the customization flexibility. I give it a 5 because you are somehow locked in. So if you want to connect the database, for example, you can only connect the Replit database, which costs $25 a month, and you don't have any other options here. Scalability and flexibility, I give it a 6. I don't think it's really secure deploying this. And I mean, you would need to check the code and test everything. So in total, when we divide all of these 6 metrics by 6, we end up with a score of 6 in total. Okay, the Firebase Studio app, ease of use, I would give it a 6. I could be a bit overwhelming for beginners and non-developers, especially when switching to this full IDE. Speed of generation, I give it a 7, so it was on the quicker side, especially when it only has to make smaller edits. App quality, I also give it a 6, similar to the Replit app. On the UI side, a bit weaker, but more of the functionality worked. Supported features, I give it a 9 out of 10 because of the integration of a full IDE with everything you can also do in VS Code with all the extensions, and you can deploy this on Google Cloud. Customization flexibility, I give it a 8 because, like I said, you can make changes to everything you want. You can download it, and yeah, you have all the flexibility that Firebase provides. Scalability and reliability, I think this depends on your skill level. So I give it a 7. And when you're a developer, then you can definitely make this production ready. So total average is 7.2. Next, the Lovable app, ease of use, I give it a 7. So it's pretty easy, I would say. You can't make anything wrong here. Yeah, very simple interface. Speed of generation, I give it a 5. It was also more on the slower end. App quality, I also give it a 5. So this was one of the, I would say, weakest results. So just a one pager, we have no sidebar and anything, everything packed in one view. Supported features, I give it a 7 because you can connect Supabase and yeah, use different models and import also from Figma. Customization flexibility, I give it only a 4 because you can make edits or export the code without a pro membership. Scalability and reliability, I would give it a 5. Yeah, because the quality seems to be really so low that I have my doubts if this is really scalable. So overall, a 5.5. Next, Bolt.new. So this is a quick one. I can't really score this because I was not able to spin up the app with the available credits. So complete fail. V0, ease of use, I give it a 7. Speed of generation, I give it a 5. App quality, I give it a 7. Also one of the nicest UIs overall. Supported features, I also give it a 7 because you can attach a database and you can deploy this on Vercel if you want. And you can also export the code and make edits right away in the editor. Customization, flexibility, I give it a 6. You can export the code, which is pretty nice, but you don't have full IDE here. It's a bit difficult. You can't search the code base here, and yeah, we got some errors and right away, so I was not able to spin up this app in the first version. Scalability and reliability, outside of my doubts, to be honest, without making major changes and upgrades to the code. So I also give it a 6. Overall, a 6.3. Now, Caffeine.ai. Ease of use, I give it a 9 because it's one of the simplest interfaces ever. You can't really do anything else than just typing in your prompt and send it. And here you have these few tabs. So pretty easy for beginners. Speed of generation, I also give it a 9 because it was one of the fastest. Took only 5 minutes for the first version and then only like 2 minutes for upgrading it. The app quality, I give it a 7. Most of the features worked right away, which was really good. The UI can be improved, is a bit lacking in comparison to Reddit, for example. Supported features, I give it a 6. I mean, it's in alpha right now, but you can import Figma, you can improve your prompt with one click. So it has less features right now. Customization and flexibility, I also give it a 6 because you can make code edits right now. You can't download the code or export it with one click. You would need to copy paste everything manually. Yeah, it has its fixed tech stack that you can change, which is also good, has a lot of benefits. But yeah, that's why I give it a 6. Scalability and reliability, I give it a 9 because of the blockchain technology where this is running on and the data persistence. You don't need to connect the database. Everything works out of the box. And it's as scalable as the underlying blockchain is. So I think that's really great for a vibe-coded app. So the overall score is 7.7. That means in the end, yeah, number 1, Caffeine.ai. Number 2, Firebase Studio. Number 3 is V0. My number 4 is Replit. And my number 5 is Lovable. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to join the Agent Roundup free newsletter every Tuesday. See you next time.